Hello, it has been so long since I've sat down like this in front of the camera and just had a chat with you guys. I don't even remember the last time I did this, and I haven't planned out exactly what I'm going to say today. I just wanted to, explain a little bit about where I've been. I know that I've been quite absent on my channel compared to how much content that I've put out over the last 10 years. I feel like this year has definitely been the year where I've worked on it the least. So sad about that, but I don't know. Let's just chat. I'll talk you through a bit about what's been going on in my life this year that I've not really been sharing, and go from there. And this is so strange. So obviously, of course, it goes without saying that it's been a very strange year and a very difficult year for so many people. It's not just me. I'm not unique in this situation, that it's been a struggle or that things have happened to. That's life, and that is something that we're all having to deal with. So before I talk, please just know that this is just what has happened for me and the ups and downs of my life this year, and I'm not comparing it to how bad things are for other people, because I of course know that in every single situation that we're in, there's always someone worse off than you, and I'm always very aware of that. But I think when you make videos, sometimes it may come across as that you're oblivious to that and you think it's just you, or everything's about you, when it's not that at all. But I always find that with these videos, it's best to just make these disclaimers so that there's only a very small percentage of people that would be like, oh, you think the world revolves around you, or blah 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 blah. They just know that that's not where this is coming from. So yeah, there's been something that I've wanted to kind of just bring up and talk about for a little while now, just because I feel like I should, and I don't feel like everyone should. It's a very personal matter, but I'll explain why in a second. So basically, in the summer I had a miscarriage, and of course it was a really difficult time. It wasn't very nice at all, and it's something that I've never experienced before, and the reason that I kind of wanted to talk about it was because I have documented both of my pregnancies, and for the most part, I would say 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they went so smoothly, and there were a few bumps in the road, but I had 2 really good pregnancies, 2 really good labours, and 2 healthy children, so I'm incredibly lucky. But I've felt all this time like I almost owed it to you guys and my channel and what I talk about and my content to mention it, because if I am lucky enough to maybe go on and have another successful pregnancy and that end up in me having a baby one day, and I just completely leave this part out, then that's not really a true representation of what happened in my, I guess, motherhood journey. So I feel very uncomfortable about not mentioning it. But like I said, that doesn't mean that if other people have had miscarriages, they should mention it if it's something they want to keep personal to them. And also another reason I wanted to talk about it was because one of the reasons why I felt like I coped with it okay compared to how I maybe would have been if it was my first pregnancy, was that there have been a lot of women actually that I've watched videos of. Some are my friends or have become my friends through YouTube, and some are just women that I've been subscribed to and really look up to and respect, and they have talked about their miscarriages and losses previously, and that is what made me realise and learn that it's actually a really common thing. It happens in 1 in 4 pregnancies that it results in a miscarriage. And I think before that I didn't really have that much information about it, and I would have felt very alone and very maybe like I'd done something wrong, or there was something wrong with me, or I would have blamed myself and I would have been in a lot more shock. Basically, the kind of short story of it is this actually happened in August. My period was late, and I thought I was like, I don't think I am pregnant, but my period's late. And and I was doing pregnancy tests just before my period was due, and they were coming back negative, so I wasn't really thinking anything of it. But then after my period was due, I did another pregnancy test, and I got the faintest line ever. And it just seemed a bit strange that it was so faint after my period was due. This was like maybe 4 days or something. And I did the stupid thing of Googling it, which was not a good idea, because it kind of just said that that probably means it's going to result in a miscarriage. Now, I just want to say here that that is not facts. That is just something I read on Google, and I do not want to petrify anybody right now that is, you know, has just seen a pregnancy test that looks similar, or is trying to have a baby at the moment and sees a pregnancy test with a faint line. You could have a pregnancy test with a faint line and have a perfectly healthy pregnancy. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. I'm literally just talking about my experience compared to the times before. I guess that was what gave me a little bit of a like an inkling that something wasn't right. I was getting a really faint test, and Ricky and I decided to wait until 2 days later, because it takes about 48 hours for your HCG levels to rise, so basically the line should be getting darker. And if anything, the next time it was lighter. But these are with the pink tests, and they're not as sensitive as the blue tests apparently. So on the blue test, the line was showing up darker. And I also got a digital result that said pregnant. And then a day after that, I started to have the miscarriage. Yeah, it was just, I was really sad about it, but I also knew it was coming, like I just knew. And also as well, I didn't have any symptoms, which again is perfectly normal for a perfectly healthy pregnancy. But just because basically my pregnancy before with Elliot, I did one of these pink line tests a day after my period was due, and it was a really dark line, and I was already getting symptoms. I was so tired, I had sore boobs. I already kind of knew before I did that test that I was pregnant, whereas this time there was really no symptoms, and the line was really faint. Yeah, that's kind of how it was for me. Like I said, please don't read into that too much if you are trying to get pregnant at the moment. My aim is not to worry anybody, but it was actually good that I was prepared as well. But the scary thing is, with Archie, my first baby, I only ever did a digital test, which obviously said pregnant. And so if I'd only have done a digital test this time, I really wouldn't have had anything to read into. So maybe that's better for some people, maybe it's worse, but I don't know. It was just not a very nice experience. But because it was early on, it was very manageable. I was very lucky I didn't have to go into hospital and have a procedure. It was just, it was okay. It was from from a physical aspect, it really was okay. It was more the emotional side that was harder. And I think now I'm dealing with it quite well. It's just, it hits you every now and again. Just things like when I would have been 12 weeks, I got quite upset that day because I felt like I've been able to tell everybody now. I think I'll get quite sad in April, because that would have been when the baby would have been born. And also just little things, like the other day we were looking back at our Christmas dances that we do every single year. We put it on Instagram on Christmas Eve every year, and we've got 4 of them now. One was when I was pregnant with Elliot, and then Elliot's a tiny baby, and then as the boys have grown up, and it's just like a punch in the gut. I just thought, oh my god, I would have been doing that with a bump this year. And they're the things that make me feel sad, but also I know that it just obviously wasn't meant to be, and there's a potential chance we could have another baby again in the future if we want to. And I think that's actually a really important point to make. And I have been guilty of this as well before I had kids more, I think, before I had children. So it doesn't make you a bad person, but I just really wish people would stop asking other people when they're going to have a baby or when they're going to have another baby. just because you don't know what that person has gone through, like maybe they want another baby and they can't have one, or maybe it's somebody that doesn't want to have children and they want to have a career, or they want to travel and they're not in that place yet. Or maybe you're asking somebody that has literally just lost a baby. Like, you have to be so careful. And before this happened, I actually haven't had it much after, actually, luckily, but before this was happening, I think maybe I'd put on a bit of lockdown weight, because I was getting comments on Instagram like, oh, do I see baby number 3? And as much as it doesn't really bother me from basically the people telling you that you look fat, it doesn't bother me too much. I do just think, oh my god, like, do people say that to people? Like, you're basically saying you look fat. And I know it just does come from a place of usually excitement, and that you want that for somebody, so it does come from a good place. But I learned my lesson with it years ago, when I felt like I'd asked someone and later found out that they struggled to have children, and it made me feel terrible for a long time. So yeah, we all learn our lessons, but it's just something to put out there. Maybe just stop asking people when they're going to have babies. That's kind of the whole story, and like I said, I'm not looking for sympathy in sharing this with you guys. I'm just literally wanting to share my whole story, and I don't know, maybe help anybody that is also going through it or gone through it. I know it's not an easy time. I was going to just re-film that all then, because I just felt like I completely rambled, but I'm not going to, because I just want to just say it without having to, you know, like, I don't want to script what I'm going to say. So yeah, it's just been, since then I've just felt a bit deflated, I guess is probably the right word. And even though I've really been trying so hard to carry on with lots of different projects that I'm doing, there's been a little bit of a spark that's gone. And that's not just for that reason, it's also like to do with health anxiety, and just really suffering with quite bad anxiety this year, which has not been fun. And I think it's something that a lot of people have felt more this year, or actually have got for the very first time, and they've never experienced it before this whole pandemic. So I really do feel for people that are suffering with anxiety and panic attacks. I actually had the worst panic attack I've ever had just before my 30th birthday. For somebody that has had panic attacks since they were 11, I honestly believed that I'd experienced what every type of panic attack and how it feels, and nothing could shock me in that sense now. But wow, this one literally floored me. And when I say literally, I was on the floor for about 3 hours whilst I'm laughing about it now, it's not funny, whilst my mum was on FaceTime to me, trying to calm me down, because I honestly thought I was going to die, and I kept saying I need to go to hospital, because it just came out of nowhere and I was shaking uncontrollably for no reason. Nothing had happened, nothing had scared me, nothing bad had happened, nothing, like, just nothing. I was going to bed, and I was just like uncontrollably shaking, and I couldn't stop, and it was so frightening, because you obviously get all of the other feelings, like the adrenaline rushing through your body, your heart's pumping, you're like, I just felt bizarre, and because I'd not experienced it before, and because I have health anxiety, this is what I do, and what I did from a young age is link the panic attack to actually feeling like something is wrong, like physically, and I need medical help. It wasn't until after a couple of hours of this, like, breathing techniques and stuff that my mum was doing with me, that I stopped shaking enough to realise that it's not anything that is going to physically harm me, and then I could calm down. And touch wood, I've not had one since. I've not had one before that. It was weird, but I don't know if it was the whole like culmination of lockdown, and the, you know, just how weird everything was, and the fact that maybe I was turning 30 again. I don't think I was panicking about that, but maybe I was. You never really know. but it was horrible. And yeah, I'm really trying to get some help for my health anxiety now. I'm actually doing some hypnotherapy, so I'll let you know a bit down the line if that works, because I wanted to try something new, something I'd not done before. Health anxiety has really hit me this year, and actually it's probably in a way that's different to what you'd imagine, because you could probably imagine that it was focused around I'm scared of getting coronavirus, which obviously I am. I feel like getting coronavirus has worried me to a normal level, that most people are worried about it, but they can get on with their lives. Maybe I wasn't feeling quite so much like that at the start of this, when it was brand new and we didn't know what the hell was going on. But with me, it's more focused on different things, and at the moment I don't really feel like I'm able to sit and talk about it, because it's a phobia, basically. I'm phobic of getting certain things wrong with me. So at some point I think I'll probably sit down and do another health anxiety video, because still to this day I get emails and messages about the ones I've done in the past, which means a lot to me, because they're still that video or those videos, people are still finding them and still finding some comfort from them. And I didn't really offer any advice or support, but it was just kind of, I guess, hearing somebody else explain what they go through is comforting. So yeah, I've just been trying my hardest this year to get on with all of the things that I want to do. There are a couple of projects that I'm working on, which I don't want to talk about in this video, because I want to talk about them when they happen in a happy, positive video. I haven't just kind of like given up, even though it may seem that way if you think, oh, she just doesn't make YouTube videos more. I've actually been doing a fair bit over on Instagram, socially still, so if you don't follow me over there, then you would probably see quite a lot on there that I've been doing. But going back to what I started with, I do definitely feel like I've let my channel go a little bit, which I'm really annoyed about, because it's something that I've worked so hard on for 10 years. I always say that, it's the big 10 years this year. Would you believe it, in coronavirus times? I've worked so hard on it. It's been such a passion of mine and I still love it. I just maybe have lost my way with it a bit, and I've seen a few videos recently, like not that I'm comparing myself to him, but David Dobrik, who has got like millions of subscribers on YouTube and like has blown up on TikTok. And as far as I can see, he's not vlogged for about 6 months. And he did an interview with Barrymore on her show, and I just happened to watch it. And he said, like, you know, when we do this as a job, it always feels like we have to go, be like, what's the next thing, have to constantly be churning out this content. And if you are in a place where you just can't do it, then you can't do it. It's very difficult to come up with videos that are happy, motivating, inspiring for people to watch, because at the end of the day, I'm making this for entertainment purposes. So I could come on and vlog every week and be like, this week I'm having a really bad week, which in some ways is probably helpful, because it's not just trying to show the like perfect perception of someone's life. And I do realise that that is a big issue with social media, and people feel like their lives aren't as good as people that they see on social media. But also, on the other hand, you wouldn't continue to watch me if every video was like this. You'd be like, oh, that's going to bring me down. You want to watch something on YouTube or on Netflix or on the TV most of the time that's light-hearted, or just takes you away from your worries in your own life. And that's why I like YouTube. It's like a bit of an escape. You can kind of be a fly on the wall in someone else's life if you're watching a vlog, or you can watch a haul video and see some things that you probably shouldn't, but you might like to purchase. Or someone does like a DIY video and you think, oh, I'd love to do that, and you never do it, but you enjoy watching it. It's just a bit of escapism. So this whole year I've just been, or more the second half of the year, I think, I've just been like freaking out, because I'm like, I don't know what I can give them, because at the moment I just need to look after myself and my family. I don't know why I'm getting upset, but I feel like that is changing now, and I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, but it's been quite hard to just sit down and blurt it all out. But I really want to get back into it because I'm not ready to stop doing this channel. And Christmas is coming up. I've got some ideas that I want to make for Christmas content, and again, I want it to be light-hearted and fun and joyful, and like drinking a warm cup of hot chocolate. So I felt like, let's just do this video, explain, update on the what's been happening over the last few months, just chat to you guys, and then just come back and enjoy what I do again. And I hope that you guys will enjoy watching again as well. So let me know if that sounds good to you. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see. It doesn't have to just be Christmas content. What are your favourite kind of videos to watch at the moment? What do you like seeing from me? What would make you click on a video? I'd love to know any of those things, because trust me, it would really help me out. And yeah, I think the last thing I wanted to say was, to everybody that's watching this, I know you're probably all going through your own struggles right now, and life is hard and life is very different to how we saw it last year. I even put on Instagram the other day, like, this thing, if you were in a room with you, as in 2020 you and 2019 you, and you said things to 2019 you like, oh, I haven't done that since before lockdown, or have you got your mask, or the kids will be off school for 6 months, daily death toll, these were all the things that I thought of. You, like 2019, you would be like, what are you talking about? You're like, you'd be petrified, you'd be terrified. But we've all got through this year so far, so that makes us stronger than we even ever realised we were. So if you're feeling down at the moment, it will get better. It just will. I'm not sure next year will be completely back to normal, but I think we'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's the most wonderful time of the year coming up. Let's hope we can enjoy it with family, but if not, there will be next Christmas and we will be able to all be together again. And we'll find ways to make this one as good as we possibly can. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like I've said before, whether this is the first time you've seen me, probably not the best video for the first one you've ever watched of me, but if it is, then there's hopefully good things to come, so please subscribe. And if you've been around a long time, then I really do appreciate your support more than you ever know, and I hope you're all okay. Keep safe, keep well, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye guys.